Hi, I'm Savanna Cordle, and I'm presenting my honors thesis research on effective marketing tactics for small businesses in the wedding industry. And I did this based on Rochester, Minnesota, since that's where I'm from. So, first off, the importance and the process of this project. There are many small business owners that do the marketing themselves, and to prove that, during my research, I had over 50% of interviewees tell me that they do all the marketing themselves, and the rest of the interviewees said that they do it in-house, meaning they have hired someone to do it for them. And then marketing tactics are ever changing. So when I started to do the research, there's really not a whole lot out there specifically for small businesses, which is really important since they make up 99% of all businesses in the US. And so in order for them to be successful, they need to know what type of marketing is going to be the most effective for them so that they can continue doing business. The process I went about doing this and collecting my research was 11 semi structured interviews where I was asking from a set list of questions that I had created. And then I let the owners speak about however they wanted to for their responses. And then I just kind of did a conversation from there. But I did have a set list of questions. So, on to the most effective tactics, which were word of mouth referrals and reviews, which was the number one, but it was tied with social media, having a presence and advertisements. And then the third most effective, which again was tied with the fourth kind of. So, we have websites, which was the usability and findability. So, when a potential customer is Google searching for a specific type of service or product, being able to be one of the top websites or businesses to show up was really important and super effective for businesses. And then their email marketing. I had 2 out of the 11 respondents include that as one of their most effective tactics. And that's just being able to collect customers' information when they're purchasing or trying to learn about your business, and then being able to send them reminders about different services or products or sales that you're doing and different things like that. So, word of mouth and referrals. This was found to be the most effective, as 45% of interviewees responded this was their most effective or included it if they give a list of what was most effective for them. And the reason being is when a previous customer is telling their friend or somebody they know about the business that they just worked with. They have built a relationship with this business and now they are going to refer it to somebody else. And one business owner said that when they get referrals, it's the people that they want to work with. So the previous client knows the business and is going to refer somebody that is going to work well with the business. And then a study by Nielsen says that reviews are the most trustworthy form of advertisement. And so that's just another reason why word of mouth and referrals and reviews are number one, because they're super trusted. And then Tootin furthers the point by saying users view the referral source as unbiased and credible and are likely to internalize the referral's opinion of the brand, making it their own. And so even though they might not need the product or service right now, they're going to remember that brand. They're going to remember this good experience that their friend or family member had with it. And a lot of the businesses that I talk to, even though they're in the wedding industry, don't specifically do only wedding things, such as photographers. The photographers I talked to said a lot of their clients are repeat customers, somebody that they did a wedding for, and then when they come around and do newborn shots or family photos, or even later on in life when they have a senior graduating from high school, they'll do the senior shot. So it's a lot of repeat customers. And then Even if they're referring somebody that's been married already and doesn't have a wedding coming up, they might use the same photographer for a different purpose. And then social media was this first tied, second one I'm talking about, for most effective, and that was having a presence and running advertisements. So according to Reese, the benefits of having a social media presence were increased exposure, meaning you're going to be able to reach a broader audience and reach more people through social media because there's so many users on the different platforms. And a study done by Clement says that there are 2.5 billion monthly users on Facebook and 1 billion monthly users on Instagram. So that is a large amount of people that you could potentially be exposed to. The second benefit is increased traffic. So if you have a social media presence and you're posting often, you're going to have that extra exposure. So that's going to drive more people to your website or your profile. And if you're posting and interacting with the social media community, you're going to be driving more traffic to your website or whatever you are wanting to drive traffic to. But most often it's your website or contact form. And the third benefit, according to Reese, for having a social media presence is building new relationships. So like I said, you're going to be interacting and posting on the social media community. So you're going to be building your reputation and your image, and you're going to build new relationships from social media. When I talk about advertisements, the benefit there, or at least one of them, is being able to select specific demographics you're going to market to. If you think about a billboard, you're not choosing who you're going to market to. You're maybe choosing the region, but then it's whoever drives past that billboard. On social media, you're able to choose the location. You're able to choose other demographics such as age, income, gender, and sometimes you can even get down to the point where you are choosing different characteristics or interests of the person that you are wanting to market to or do business. One respondent I talked to said that they do this, they love a specific TV show, and so they'll add that as one of the things they're marketing to because, like I said, they want to do business with people that they are going to get along with and be able to build that relationship with, which will bring that back to referring other people more like them. And another advantage of advertisements, and the reason that it's so effective, is the microsite that is usually attached to the advertisements. It's an extension almost of the advertisement itself, and it's where people land when they click on the ad, and usually it's designed to look similar to the advertisement and make it feel like the customer or visitor is still on that advertisement. And on the landing or microsite page, there's going to be more detailed call to action on what the business is going to want the user to do. And with Facebook Ads Manager and microsites, there are a lot, there's an ability to monitor your key performance indicators, which are items such as the click-through rate, the impressions, and conversion rates. And understanding and knowing what you're looking at for that is super important from the marketing standpoint, because you need to know, first of all, how many people are seeing your ad. Is your target market too small or is it too broad? And then for the click-through rate, that is how many people are seeing the ad and how many people are clicking through on the ad to the landing page. Maybe the call to action is not strong enough, and so you need to be able to monitor that and make changes as needed. And then the conversion rate, of course, is out of all the people that are seeing your ad, how many are you converting to paying customers? And that's really important to understand on whether the ad is being effective for your business or not. I had 54% of interviewees track their metrics for advertisements and or their social media postings. I know a lot of the businesses said that they get a lot of people reaching out to them through Facebook Messenger, through their business page. And so it's just really important to be out there and be visible. And then another good aspect about the key metrics is that you can use them for benchmarking against other businesses in your industry, just to know how effective your advertisements are and just to compare your business. The next effective port was websites, and that was on having a user-friendly website and then one that's accessible, meaning that your website is easy to use and people are going to find information efficiently and effectively. One owner said that that is super important to their business, and so they include price on their website so that when people are looking, they don't have to fill out a form and be contacted by some salesperson, and that they can find information for themselves. And then another important aspect of the website is the search engine optimization, and that's about designing the website that it includes keywords, meta tags, and important headlines that are going to make the website appear on the top of a search engine's list. Businesses said that this was super important in order for business to come through. And websites really are the cornerstone of an online presence. It's where people are going to learn about what products or services you have to offer and just learn more about who you are and what the business and company stands for. So email marketing has some benefits to it, which include it being highly personalized, meaning you can include names when you're emailing people, and maybe if you know certain characteristics about them, if that can be implemented. And the second benefit is that they can be implemented quickly. So it doesn't take long to create an email and then send it out. And the next benefit is the cost effectiveness compared to direct mailers. If you think about how much it costs to mail something nowadays compared to the cost of creating an email, it's much lower. You're not having to pay for print and postage. All you're doing is really designing and then the time that it takes you to do that. And another benefit to email marketing is you can include a microsite or a landing page, kind of how I talked about that with the Facebook and Instagram advertisement, and that same aspect. An important thing to remember about email marketing, though, is the option to opt in or opt out to this specialized marketing, because you don't want to seem like you're spamming your consumers or potential customers. So it's important to give the option to lower the frequency of how often you send them messages. One business that I talked to said that they only send out one email per month so as not to be spamming their customers, while another said that they send out emails to promote their other events since they're a venue. Although those were the most effective tactics, I did get some mixed opinions on the following tactics, which I thought was really interesting. That some said that was really effective for them, while others said it did not work at all. And so that was trade shows, print advertising, and online directory listings. And so trade shows can be beneficial because it allows businesses to meet directly with potential customers. But whether they are effective for businesses in Rochester, I'm not sure, since one owner said it was supposed to bring in tons of people, yet it didn't prove to be that fruitful, while another business said that it was one of their most effective. So I think for that aspect is really dependent not on the industry you're in, but what type of product or service you're offering and where people are going to be to purchase your service or product. Print advertising, I had multiple interviewees say they did print marketing, but one said through her experience it wasn't effective, and that she had done advertisements in a magazine, and most of it was her images, and there was no business that came from the magazine. So she really questioned on whether it was effective or not, especially for her business. And the third one that had mixed was the online directory listings, which included the Knot and Wedding Wire. The issue to be found with these was the lack of an option to choose Rochester, Minnesota as a location. It has the cities instead, which would be the nearest by, so like the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and St. Paul area. And then it costs, the high cost related to that and the low return on investment for businesses was the issue that they had with the online directory listings being effective for their business. So in closing, word of mouth is the most effective, but is uncontrolled, meaning the business isn't pushing out advertisements or telling people to refer or review their business in a certain way. To have effective referrals and reviews, it comes down to the product or service that you offer and providing high quality and something that people are going to want to share with others, and having really good customer service. This research also proved not all businesses are the same, and so marketing will not be the same for every business, even though they might be in the same industry or even doing the same exact thing, depending on how big their target market is and the location that they're in. If I was going to do further research, I would want to know TikTok's effectiveness and involvement. Since when I started this research to now, I feel like TikTok has really taken off and a lot of people are using that now. So I wonder how effective TikTok could be, or having a presence on there could be for businesses, and whether it would really give any return on investment, or if it's just it would be a sunk cost for them. Different marketing tactics, if they would change depending on the geographic location. So I did Rochester, Minnesota, which has a population of 116,000, which was last estimated in July 2018. But I wonder what it would be in a different geographic location that has the same estimated or around population, and then an area that was smaller and larger, and just try to look at what would be effective for that and see how much that would change. I would maybe do research into different industries other than the wedding industry and see how that makes a change and affects the outcomes. But I think that it would come down to understanding the target market, which is always the purpose of marketing, is, or the basis of a marketing strategy is understanding your target market and understanding their actions and behaviors to market effectively to them. And then here are all my references that I used. And I will say that the respondents are available upon request if you wanted to know who I interviewed for that. But otherwise, thank you and have a good rest of the day.